All right, some big news here. Barricades have been removed right from outside UK Envoy's house in Delhi. Britain failed to provide security to the Indian High Commission in London. We saw what happened on Sunday after the Khalistani army attacked the Indian London High Commission office, and sources tell us now that right outside the British High Commissioner's residence in Delhi, the barricades that once stood have now been pulled out. 10:30 p.m. last night, all barricades were pulled off around the residence of the British High Commissioner's residence. In fact, they were all removed, and this could be in response to lack of security that was provided by the UK government to the Indian High Commission in London. A measure now that is really being perceived. What we saw, or what we see right now outside the British High Commissioner's residence in Delhi, the lack of barricades there that once was present in numbers. All those barricades have been pulled out, and this is being perceived now as India's clapback to what happened in London, and Britain and of course India failing to provide security to the Indian High Commission in London. A reaction now we see here in Delhi, the British High Commissioner's residence. All the barricades that once stood have been pulled down. Now this is being perceived as security being strategically downgraded from all British establishments in India post the Khalistani attack on the Indian High Commission in London. Like we stress, we're waiting for an official confirmation. Confirmation on this is still awaited from respected authorities of India. They remain tight-lipped on the matter, but visuals speak for itself. Geeta Bohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, tracking these developments for us. Geeta, no official word coming in yet from the Indian government on whether this was a strategic move to downgrade security from outside British establishments. But yet, what we see here speak louder than words. The British High Commissioner's residence in Delhi, barricades that once stood, all of them pulled out.
Absolutely. The fact that barricades have been removed reminds us, Nabila, of the time when Devyani Khobragare case had happened, and she was frisked, checked with swab tests, so on and so forth. At the airport, not at the airport, but when she was apprehended for having ill-treated her domestic health, and this became a huge diplomatic incident with the US Embassy's security being downgraded. And now, with the violence of the Indian High Commission in London, we're looking at a similar feature where Indian government is looking at consequences for the kind of lack of security in London. And while there is no confirmation, Nabila, there has been no word of confirmation from the Ministry of External Affairs whether a policy decision has been taken to downgrade security. We are seeing it on the ground. Our reporter Shreya Chatterjee has been reporting on it, how barricades from outside High Commissioner Alex Wellis's residence have been removed. And now we also await to see whether if the decision will translate into removal of barricades or security downgrade at the High Commission as well as the US Embassy, given that there was more violence and a violent incident at the consulate of Indian consulate in San Francisco.
You know, you mentioned, Geeta, right outside the British High Commissioner's residence, there used to be multiple barricades and huge security was ensured, personal security was ensured for the British High Commissioner. Outside his residence, area security and personal security for him. But somehow we don't see that kind of reception for their Indian counterparts in their respective countries. Now, with regards to what happened in London on Sunday, the Indian High Commission being attacked by Khalistanis, it was all due to lack of security by the British police, and now we see India reacting. Is this a formal decision from the Indian government? Shreya Chatterjee joins us right outside the British High Commissioner's residence at this point. Let's cut across to her ground report.
We are outside the residence of the British High Commissioner in the national capital, where you can see that a security downgrading has happened. However, an official confirmation on the same is still awaited. Here, there used to be police barricades, and what we just learned from talking with the security guards here at the British High Commissioner's residence, that around 10:30 p.m. yesterday night, the barricades from in and around his residence was removed, and official confirmation from the MEA or the Delhi Police and other security apparatus agencies is still awaited, but this is right now being perceived as India's response to the Khalistani attack that took place in the Indian High Commission in UK, and this is being perceived as a downgrading of security from all British establishments in the country. With video journalist Jagannath, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.